What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Creativ Rise Podcast. This is an exciting episode 144, on how to actually ditch being overwhelmed. We get overwhelmed. You get overwhelmed. I'm sure you listening to the podcast, you probably get overwhelmed at times. Running a business is added stress. We were actually out for dinner with somebody the other day, and they said, I wish this person would start a business, but it's just stressful, and they know it's going to be really stressful. You know, there's reasons why people don't start businesses. Yeah. It is stressful. You are pretty much signing up for more overwhelm typically than if you were a typical employee at a company. So our reasoning and why we start with that is we want to just first clear the air that it is, yes, overwhelming to own your own business, but it doesn't have to stay that way. And there are tools you can use in order to reduce overwhelm and really, really make owning a business enjoyable, which is why you all signed up to start a business in the first place, which is why we do it. Yeah. You want to have choice. You don't want to be overwhelmed like crazy. So That's what we're talking about this week. But a quick update on this 6-week Creativ Rise Mastermind. We are in week 4 right now of the 6-week Creativ Rise Mastermind. This week is all about marketing. So we say this at the beginning of the week, but I actually stand by it. I think week 4 in the Creativ Rise Mastermind teaches you more about marketing than most 4-year marketing degrees at top universities. And that sounds insane, but the reason why I say that is because we have a lot of people that actually went to the schools that then come through our program because they didn't learn much about marketing. And then they say, dude, this is so good. Like, we're learning so much more about this than what I learned in school. So we're super excited. This is a fun week. We're talking about building your own funnel for your business, whether in the wedding space or the commercial space, the brand space. We talk about the customer value journey. We talk about pitching, outreach, cold outreach, everything all the way down to how to construct a sales call. Like, there's so much in this week. Yeah. It is a blast. We've got a couple wins to shout out this week as we've been doing the last couple weeks. So shout out to Jenn Abrams. She already filled all of her holiday sessions. She already sold all those out, which is incredible. So shout out to you, Jenn. Big win this week. Shout out to Prescott. He is from the wedding space, and he joined the mastermind to learn how to transition into the brand space, and he got his first brand deal. So shout out to you, Prescott, for landing your first brand gig, video brand gig. Big wins, brother. And then Hailey Durst, shout out to you, Hailey. If you know Hailey or you look her up, you'll know this is like such a cool win for her. She shot with one of her dream clients and got a deal with Ariat this week and actually already posted it. It looks incredible. They were stoked on the images. If you know who she is and you check her out, you'll be like, oh my gosh, she looks perfect for that brand. She's like she's a lifestyle, like Western photographer. Yep. And she's so cool. So shout out to you, Hailey. Legit. So awesome, guys. Yeah. Great wins this week.
It's also a fun week because we are really introducing wagers into the mastermind at this point in time. So what wagers are in the mastermind is basically you make a bet. You're like, here's my goal of what I want to accomplish before the end of the 6 weeks. And then what am I actually wagering in order to meet that goal? Like, what happens if I do meet that goal or I don't meet that goal? Yeah. And a lot of people are motivated by punishment, and a lot of people are motivated by pleasure and getting something fun. Spicy. We had everybody basically say what their wager was. So they gave their goal, like, I want to make X amount of dollars, I want to land this type of deal, or I want to completely overhaul my brand and have it fully done by the time of this, or I want to post every day all the way till the end of the mastermind. And then they attached fun wagers on it. We have people that are like, if their group gets to whatever they're doing with their goals, their pod, then they are going to go shark diving in Florida. And that's not a punishment. That's like the good side.
They're going to get there. There's people who are like, I'll shave my head if I don't hit my goals. There's someone who's terrified of skydiving, so they're going to go skydiving. We're the whole mastermind, so 36 businesses. We are going to fund them to go skydiving. So if everyone pitches like, I don't know, $5 or $10, it's going to pay for them to go skydiving. So there's a lot of fun stuff, but it's pushing people to take, different levels of action in order to get different results, right? Like, it's so important that we do that, and that's why the wagers are a huge thing that we implement in week 3 of the mastermind to really push people to take action they just haven't taken before.
Yeah, and when people take action they haven't taken before, a lot of times they get very overwhelmed. So we were talking on our last group call about this, and people were saying like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. I just feel like I've got all these things to do, and I've got big goals. I'm taking actions I've never taken before, but I just feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, or putting myself out there is like scarier than I thought it was going to be.
Exactly.
So
again, as Joey reiterated before, owning your creative business, taking new steps, trying to grow something is overwhelming. And so a lot of people get overwhelmed and they go, okay, well, the antidote for being overwhelmed is I just got to work 24/7. I just got to work until 2 a.m. every single night, whatever it is. Or they think the antidote to an overwhelm is I have to complete my whole to-do list, and only then will I not feel overwhelmed. Or 3, they get overwhelmed and they think it's a sign that they need to quit their creative business and no longer pursue it. And All of those things are big fat no's from us. No, that is not the antidote to overwhelm. The actual antidote for overwhelm, because we've helped other people, overcome being overwhelmed. The real antidote to overwhelm is simplicity and discipline. Okay, simplicity and discipline. And so you guys, we've got a fun little system that we've used when we get overwhelmed that we taught everybody on our 6-week mastermind about this same system that helps you stop being overwhelmed, kind of remanage your life, and to really put simplicity and discipline into your creative business.
Yeah. Can I ask a kind of embarrassing question?
Yes.
So you're smarter than I am. I kind of know what antidote means, but I kind of don't. So for all the other people like me who are listening to this, and Christy's using very educated, wise words because she's educated and wise, just continue to explain that a little bit.
Okay, so an antidote is like the healing medicine of whatever something is.
It's the solution.
It's the solution.
Okay, great. So the solution to overwhelm is actually by simplifying stuff and getting more disciplined, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. Translated for all the men on here that aren't as smart as women. All right. So here we go. So here's something that we started using. Christy and I started using this probably, like 2.5 years ago?
Yeah.
And
we were super overwhelmed.
Super overwhelmed. There was like a big season of stuff that was going on work-wise. And it was probably around the time we were getting married too.
Yeah.
And we were like, man, how do we accomplish what we need to accomplish in a day? It feels chaotic. Now, my story is I have ADHD. I've got diagnosed learning disabilities and a processing disorder. So getting to work right away, I would not say is my specialty. Starting things really quickly, I would not say is my specialty. And keeping focused on things, I would not say is my specialty. So I really need a lot of construction. I need a lot of discipline and simplification around my life in order to actually get things done. Now, that's just me. You are not like that, but you still experience seasons of overwhelm, depending on what's going on.
Yeah, I can more get stuck in I need to get my whole to-do list done.
Which is super stressful.
Very overwhelming.
So whether you're on my side, meaning you feel like you struggle to focus and get things done and check things off, or you're like Christy, where you don't really struggle with those things, you just sometimes put too much on your plate and it overwhelms you because you're so good at getting things done.
Yes.
We've got you covered. This is a system we call the 3x3 system, and it is a system that not only gives you progress in your work life, but it also gives you a ton of personal fulfillment. So here's how this system works. In a season of overwhelm, Christy and I asked the question, what could we do with our schedules, with our working schedule, with our day tomorrow? If we had 10 hours tomorrow to kind of play around with stuff and get stuff accomplished, what could we do in order to actually push ourselves forward in both our personal life and our business? So here's what we started to do. Before we go to bed, we write down on a piece of paper 3 things personally we want to accomplish, and then we write down 3 things professionally we want to accomplish. Now, key thing, you do this before you go to bed, and there's a there's a high importance reason, a very important reason for that. Mm-hmm. And the reason is the antidote to this. But the reason is that if you wake up every single morning and you have not yet already scripted your day, you wake up in a headspace of chaos. You wake up feeling overwhelmed. Where if you wake up in the morning and the night before you went to bed, you actually wrote down 3 things you wanted to accomplish professionally and 3 things you wanted to accomplish personally, you can just wake up and start your day. You already know what you got to do. I personally put myself on the spot. If I don't do this, I will wake up, I will kill so much time just spinning my wheels on what I should even be working on that day. So doing my 3x3 the night before really, really helps. So here's what I do. I sit down before I go to bed and I write it on a piece of paper. What are 3 things I want to accomplish professionally? What are 3 things I want to accomplish personally? So here's an example of what this could look like. Professionally, it might be like edit photos of X brand. I need to edit 15 photos and get that gallery done. Boom. That's my first one. Number 2 professionally could be respond to the emails that I got yesterday. Boom. So I'll take 20 minutes and do that. Number 3 could be write a new podcast for the Creativ Rise podcast. Great. Those are my 3 professional things. My 3 personal things could be like call my Nana and call my grandma. Say, hey, how are you? It's been a couple weeks since I've talked to them. That will make me feel great about my day if I can chunk up time to do that. The second thing could be take my wife to a fun spot for lunch that we haven't been to before. That would be really, really fulfilling for me. The third one could be the same. What should we do after this? You want to go for lunch?
Yeah,
the third one could be go on a 30-minute walk and crush a 40-minute workout. It's kind of 4 things, but I listed them in 3. That is 3 professional, 3 personal things. Now, here's the deal, guys. If I script this the day before, I know when I wake up the next day exactly what I need to work on. And here's the best part. Once you finish those 3 things on each side, you check all 6 of them off, you feel amazing about yourself because you actually accomplished what you set out to do that day. You can check out of work. You can be done with work for the day. And if you can do 3 things, 3 simple things, yet they're progressive things in your business every day, and you can do 3 simple things, yet they're fulfilling things in your personal life every single day, if you spread that out over 365 days a year, you will be in a phenomenal place. Phenomenal place. So it's actually, how do we scale our lives down to 3 things on each side? Let's simplify this, and then let's build some discipline into making sure we check things off. And if you can do that on a consistent basis, you're going to crush it. So that is a tool that Christy and I use that has been so helpful for the 2 of us. And we dropped that on our entire mastermind this week because there's a lot of people who are pushing themselves in ways they've never pushed themselves before. And they are meeting the feelings of resistance or the feelings of insecurity, the feelings of fear, the feelings of overwhelm. And so this has been something that's been really helpful for them this week. And we thought we'd share it on the podcast.
Yeah.
So if you are overwhelmed, guys, seriously do that. Write down your 3 things professionally that you need to accomplish tomorrow, the night before, 3 things personally you want to accomplish the night before. Once you get those done, you can check out of work. You can then give yourself the freedom to go do something else outside of work that's going to rejuvenate you to go get your 6 things done the next day. That is called simplifying, adding discipline in order to scale something well.
And you know what? Take the next step. If you're in a season where you're like, I'm either overwhelmed or I'm really not very disciplined and I'm just not getting a lot done, try this 3x3 for 7 days. Just try 3x3 for 7 whole days and watch how productive you feel. And I want to take one challenge further. Post your 3x3 on your Instagram story and tag us. Tag us at Creativ Rise.
We'd love to share it.
We'd love to share it. We'd love to pump you up. We'd love to encourage you, all of that kind of stuff. Because doing it alone kind of sucks. And that's what we see in our mastermind is all these people get to share their 3x3s all day with each other.
It's really encouraging.
It's so encouraging. So we want to have that for you. So again, post on your Instagram story. Tag us at Creativ Rise. We'd love to pump you up and just be excited for you on what you are accomplishing for the next day. I hope this helps you guys with getting overwhelmed just off your plate and getting a lot of really cool things onto your plate because, again, this is going to help grow your business. And we just, exist to help give you tools to help grow your business. So hope this was helpful today. Again, if you love this podcast, share it on your story, share it with a friend, make sure to tag us. We'd love to repost you and
we've actually got a free resource for you on the 3x3 tool. And it's actually a part of our 4 productivity tips mini course for solopreneurs that we built. It's completely free, our gift to you. Would love for you to go through that. It's 4 tips that will help you be more productive as a solopreneur running a business. All you got to do is go to the link in the description of this podcast or go to creativrise.com/productivity. It's with our good friend Biba Vowles. She was just on the podcast a couple weeks ago. It's a totally free course, guys. I would love for you to have it and for you to literally get the help from this course because the 4 tips that we give in that course are 4 things that we use every single day, every single week, month, and year in order to keep ourselves above the water as we continue to grow businesses as creatives ourselves. And we would love for you to have that and encourage you to do so. So thanks for being here. We'll see you next week. And again, if this podcast was helpful, make sure you share it on a story. Tag us so we can see it. We'd love to connect with you there. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.